Shalom Aleichem. Welcome to the weekly Parsha talk. This week is Parshat Miketz. It's also Shabbat Chanukah. And the beauty of my Mikeitz, Shabbat Chanukah is almost always Parshat Miketz. Once in a long while it's Vayeshev or Vayigash, but usually it's Parshat Miketz. Why? Why would it be that way? Because it's the same story. It's the same idea. What happens? Parsha starts off, Paro had a dream. His dream was that there was plenty. Fat cows, fat stalks of wheat. Everything was beautiful. Everything was wonderful. Paro's dream, Paro not being the best of all characters, one of the most wicked people in history, his dream is to have the 7 lean cows and the 7 lean stalks swallow up the good, swallow up the fat cows, swallow up all the good that's there in the world. Reb Nosson explains that the fat cows represent all the good fat cows and the fat stalks. They represent all the good that a person does. A person does a lot of good during his life. Everyone does. You help somebody, diaper a baby, right? That's something good. It's a nice thing to do, right? So little things that people do, and they're very nice. You give someone a drink, you greet them with a smile. Little things, they all add up. That's all the fatness and the healthy, beautiful things that exist in the world. Paro, the wicked people, have a dream, swallow it up, to the point that you don't even remember that you did something good, right? There's no sign at all of the good. That's what Paro intends to do. And that's what he tries all the time. Rabbi Nachman always teaches, says Rabbi Nosson, that we have to think differently. We have to change our mindset. We have to start concentrating on what is good and to take hold of that good. Never to forget. Never to forget that we had good and we have good. And in Yitzhak Hashem, we will still see good. There will be a lot of good in the world. All we have to do is just retain that faith and Paro's faith. How do we know that? Because Yosef came along and said, listen, there's good points. There's going to be 7 good years. And then there's going to be 7 years of famine. Right? What did Yosef say? Take the good and put it away for the bad years. In other words, always remember that there's good. Always have something in storage. Always keep something in mind that there was good and there will be good, and Be'ez Hashem, we will see good. Now, the Parsha goes on that Yaakov Avinu saw that there was food in Mitzrayim, so he sent his sons down, and they went also with the thought that they're going to redeem Yosef. They sold Yosef into slavery, and they're now going to redeem him. And Yosef kind of figured that the people from Canaan, meaning his family, would send people. So he set up guards by all the entrances to Egypt. Yaakov Avinu told the sons, don't all go through the same gate. Everyone goes through a different gate. Generally speaking, it was, Rashi explains, it's because, they were people of stature. They looked good. They made a great impression. If all 10 go through the hole, through the same gate, so they're going to catch someone's eyes. You don't have to be ostentatious. You have to be able to be a little bit Chanukah, a little bit modest, a little bit humble. So go through one gate at a time. Don't display everything that you have. Don't try and show off. Just go one at a time. Anyway, Yosef was wise too. They're going through different gates. And he saw that they all came through differently. So he called them all together. Now, Yosef, it says, he recognized his brothers. His brothers did not recognize him. Rashi explains to Kramer that the brothers were all older. Yosef was 17 when he was sold into slavery, and the brothers, the youngest of them, was 18, 19, whatever, but they had started growing beards. Yosef left, his beard still didn't start growing. Right? It says, Chasimas Zoken, a beard that grew on them. I once had a question. I came to a place, I hadn't been there for a few years, and I worked in the States, I'm an electrician by trade, and I went to my old working place, and I said hello to the people. They recognized me right away. But by then I had grown a beard. So I was wondering, what does it mean that they didn't recognize Yosef? Yeah, these guys recognized me right away, right? And I came across the words Chasimas Zochen. Chasima is a stamp. It's solid. It's something that you stamp in and it exists. It remains there. Like you would brand a cow or something like that. The idea is that it has to be part of you. A lot of people grow beards. Theodore Herzl had a beard. The beard didn't mean anything as far as Judaism is concerned. Right? Other people, throughout history, people always had beards. But it wasn't a beard that they were proud to show that they were Jewish. Right? That's the Chasimas Zoken, the seal. A seal that the beard is there because of Yiddishkeit, because of Judaism, because we're proud of our Judaism. Anyway, the brothers got involved with Yosef, and Yosef said to them, listen, you came here to spy out the land. And they said, no, we came here to buy food. So what are you doing coming in each separately? You're coming to spy out the land. To make a long story short, Yosef put them in jail for a few days. Then he said, I'm afraid of God. So he let them go except for one brother, Shimon, who he kept. As soon as the brothers left the city, he took Shimon out of prison. And he let him live like a human being, like a mensch. Then they came back to Yaakov, and they asked Yaakov, we have to go back again, we have to bring Binyamin with us. Yaakov said, no, I lost already his one brother from Rachel, I lost Yosef, I don't want to lose Binyamin. So Yehuda, who was like the boss of the brothers, said, Hanichu l'zoken, until the food stops. When we run out of food, he'll want us to go back down again. We'll go then. What you're looking at is a family problem, right? Yaakov Avinu was afraid for his children. He didn't want to send them even in the beginning, but he sent it. That's a father who looks after his children, right? He didn't want to lose Binyamin. So he said, now, when the time came and he had to send Binyamin, so he said, take a present for the man. Maybe he'll let us go. Take a present to the viceroy. perhaps he'll have it in his heart to let you go. And then we come to the end story where the Yosef told Menashe, his son, who was his interpreter, to take his gavia, his cup, and put it in Binyamin's sack, right? And then he ran after them, and he started searching all of them. And he started from Reuven down to Binyamin, and he found it in Binyamin's sack. He knew he would find it, but he didn't want to make it show that he knew where it was, right? Gavia. Gavia is Yud Gimel, it's spelled Gimel Beis Yud Ayin, or it's Yud Gimel 13 and Ayin Beis. Ayin Beis 72 is Chesed. Chesed adds up to Chesed. Yud Gimel is the 13 attributes of mercy, right? The Gavia was not just a cup. It was something that was meant to show that the chesed of Hashem is always there for us. 13 times 72 adds up to Tuf Kuf Samach, 960, which is the amount of a revius. Revius is a small measure of water, a fluid that's used to measure certain things in halacha, but that's the amount of 960 revius go into a mikveh. So that the gavia represents a tremendous purity. A person has a cup, he drinks. People drink wine, take a glezel of schnapps, they call it, a drop of schnapps, whatever it may be. It depends how you use that cup. It all depends. You use it for a mitzvah, you use it for something good, then you're going into a measure of purity that has no greater level or power of purity than a mikveh. If chas v'sholom, you don't use it right, you don't use the cup right, then it gets stolen, it's taken away, it loses its power, and Hashem should save us all. So this is the synopsis of the parsha this week, and we have a lot to learn from it, how to keep ourselves pure, how to realize and recognize, because the brothers at that moment recognized, they know they didn't steal the cup. Binyamin did not steal the cup. Then how did it get to him? Hashem makes certain things happen. And that's what Rashi brings. Mokon, Motza, Bal Choivo, Ligvois Choivoi. Hashem, who we owe him, right? We owe him. And that's what Chanukah is all about. We owe Hashem. He found a place to collect his fee, right? Some things go wrong in our life. Well, perhaps we haven't lived a pure life. We haven't lived a gavia, a purity. So Hashem reminds us, things don't go always the way we want it. And that's really the story of Chanukah. That's why Mikeitz is so much. The Greeks, the Hellenists, they wanted to destroy every vestige of Judaism. They wanted to swallow up anything and everything that had to do with Judaism. That's what they wanted. Hashem didn't let it happen. Hashem, Yosef, through the power of the tzaddikim, Matisyahu and his children, the Chaim, who saved Klal Yisrael at the time, right? These tzaddikim tell us there's always good. We could always take something good and work on it and find it and make it part of our lives, an inseparable part of our lives. And that's what the brothers at the end, when they found they were being called on the cup of Yosef, means they were being called on something by Hashem. They recognized that the thing that went wrong is from Hashem, and with this they're going to turn around. Matisyahu and his children, they saw the same thing. things are not going right, we have to take a stand. We have to take a stand and stand up for Hashem and do what we can to do the right thing. We do the right thing, we'll merit many, many more miracles like Chanukah speedily in our time. Amen.